Hi there guys, today I want to do a quick 2018 wrap up video and reflection, and then the 2019 video kind of just saying what's my hopes for 2019 are, kind of what my New Year's resolution is for 2019. I know it's like already the 7th of January, but I've just been so busy and I haven't had time to do it, so I thought I'd finally get a chance to do it today. So 2018 was a very interesting year for me. A lot of changes happened in my life. Now, without going into too much detail, I wanted to be an au pair for a very long time. And I'll do a whole video on that later on. I'm going to make a whole video dedicated to au pair experience in Australia and also my au pair experience in China, because I'm leaving in a few days to go to China to be an au pair. So I'll do a whole video on that. Several videos on that a bit later on, and also start a whole new channel just dedicated to that. But without going into too much detail, basically 2017, kind of the end of 2017, I kind of started looking for au pair jobs. Now originally I had started looking for these a bit earlier on, and I had in 2016, but originally I had started looking for this a bit earlier on, but that time I was studying full time, so it just didn't seem feasible, and I did go have interviews with some families, but obviously it fell through. That was the beginning of 2017, and then in October, kind of ish, September, October 2017, I started looking again, and I got a family that was really interested in me being an au pair. And they wanted me to start in January 2018 because they wanted an au pair that could speak Chinese. So I agreed, and I met up with them, and they were really keen to have me. And then another time we met down at a local cafe just so I could get to know the kid well. And I said to them, look, I'm going away on convention. So that was early January. I went away on convention. I said I can't start till after that, and they're like, yeah, that's fine. So we drew up a contract and everything, and we're like, we'll try for a few months, and yeah, and I agreed. So I quit my original job in January, just before convention. So I kind of wanted to make sure the family really wanted me before I quit my job, and they're like, yeah, we definitely want you, and then they sent the contract, and I met with them and everything, and I wanted to make sure obviously that they wanted me before I quit my job. So I was like, can you please give me 2 weeks notice, and they did. So I quit my job, I had to give them 2 weeks notice to quit my job. Actually 1 week notice. So end of December I kind of went in and put in my resignation form, and I did my last shift on the 2nd of January, which was the Tuesday, the 2nd of January. I did my final shift at the nursing home. And then we went to Melbourne from the 6th to the 15th of January 2018, and then I started this new job as an au pair on the 21st of January, which was a Saturday or a Sunday, I do believe, on the weekend. The Sunday I went to the house, and I didn't really start work until the Tuesday, because on Monday the kid went to daycare. So originally I only thought I had to study 1 day a week, so we were going to make that the Monday, so that's why the kid was in daycare on Monday. But later on I found out I actually had to study 2 days. But anyway, I started that job on 21st of January, and then the 26th of January was Australia Day, so I thought, okay, I'll go home for the weekend. And I remember that day I didn't have to work weekends because the father was home, and I remember that day I kind of like was in my room and then waiting, because they said they were going to go out to Australia Day, and I thought maybe I could go with them. But then they kind of left, and then I came out of my room and the dad was there, and he's like, oh, what are you planning to do? I was like, oh, I'll probably go see the fireworks. And I didn't realise the mum had left, so I kind of just had to make my own way to the fireworks, and we had a barbecue beforehand and everything. And I remember like telling my parents about my first week experience, and to me personally, I could feel that there was something off. Like, I just felt that the kid wasn't used to having me there. Anyway, I basically went back to work on the Monday, and the mother was like, oh, she told me the bad news. Basically, as I said, I don't want to go into too much detail, but she basically said to me, oh look, I don't think this whole thing's working, nothing to do with you, but you know, because she was expecting another child, I think it just, things wasn't working out. And I was really upset. Like, I just felt that I wasn't given the proper chance. I was only given like a couple of days, and how can you get a connection with someone in a couple of days? So anyway, that happened, and so I finished up with them on the 5th of February, and I was kind of hoping that something would happen so I could continue, but it didn't. So I remember I spent the whole month of February basically really stressed out looking for another job, and I wanted to go into au pair again because I just felt that it was something I wanted for a long time, but I wasn't really given a good chance. So I was stressed. I was really stressed out. I put out another ad, and I had tons of people flood in and saying, oh, we're interested in au pair, blah 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 blah. And I went to a few houses for an interview, and someone rang me up, and I kind of just talked to a few families, and I had to kind of like, oh no, I don't think this one's too far away. I wanted something close to my uni, so eventually I found a family, and I started with them on the 2nd of March. Now, so March was a really big month for me, because I went into surgery that on the 29th of March, and surgery, and you would have seen my reflection video on that. So I had surgery done, and I was in hospital, and I already taken 1 week off of my second au pair family, and I had to end up taking 2 weeks off. And good thing I was studying part-time at that time. Oh, and also I remember just before starting the year at uni, I emailed them, because originally I got told I only had to do 2 units and then I'll be graduated, so I'll do 1 semester 1, 1 semester 2. But good thing I double checked, because I actually found out I had to do 2 units each semester, so that was Monday and Thursday. So I knew that before I applied for my second family. I kinda originally, I think I found out just before I started, so I was able to say to her, I found out I had to study another day, so I had to add in Thursday, so I had Monday and Thursdays off with my second family, because Mondays her grandma looked after her, and Thursdays she had another person look after her. So my second family, so that was a big change. From having that surgery was something that was a major event that happened in my life in March, and also going from full-time study for quite a few years to part-time study, so doing like 3 or 4 units a semester to just 2 units a semester. And also before I was working part-time, so I was doing like 8 hours a week, 2 shifts. Sorry, no, back then the shifts were like 3 hours long, so I was doing like 6 hours, and then they changed to 4 hours long, so I was doing 4 hours and once a week, changing from full-time study, part-time work, to pretty much full-time work to part-time study. I was doing, the first family wanted me 35 hours, but if I had to if I told them that I had to cut down, I had to do an extra day of uni, I'm sure it would have been less. So that was a major change for me. First was quitting my job and becoming an au pair in January, and not only did I quit my job, I also had to quit helping out with GEMS group, which was the group I was helping out every fortnight. February was just a big change for me, just not having a job after working for so many years, pretty much constant. March was studying uni part-time and having surgery. Now April, not much difference there, just general life. May, end of April, I think I found out my second family told me that she could no longer keep me, so, and I had to pretty much leave. And so the 2nd of May I finished up with that second family. And you know, this was one of the biggest changes for me in 2018. It went from having a job, quitting that job, coming an au pair for like 2 weeks at the end of January, not having a job for February, starting a new job for 2 months, then not having a job again. So in May, I just remember both of my families, when I left them, I was really upset. But my second family, I was even more upset because I had been with them for like 2 months. And I remember I just cried and cried, and I was just like, what's happening to me, Lord? Why is this happening to me? And the first time when my family said, look, it's not working out, I just remember crying, and I just felt like, why is this happening to me, you know? And so 2018 was pretty, you know, pretty rough. Started off pretty rough. So after I finished off my second family, I decided, look, I don't want to do this au pair thing again. I just can't be heartbroken again. I can't deal with that, having, you know, what happens if I go to another family and then I'm heartbroken again? And also it was getting towards the end of semester and it's getting busier, so I thought maybe I'll just apply for something else. But I was like, I don't know what I can apply for, because a lot of things, you know, requires driving or it's far away. So I decided to apply for pamphlet rounds, and I knew that it wasn't going to be a lot of money, but I thought it'll be something, you know, it'll be something that can keep me going for a little while. So I applied for that, and I pretty much got an offer within a week. So I started that in May, like probably much, I think a week or two after finishing with my family. And yeah, and I've been doing that pretty much until now, until I go to China. So pretty much life just went on. And in June I went to a conference, and I joined back up that girls group that I had been volunteering at, and June I went on a conference because of that. Another big event that happened to me in June was becoming a lacto-ovo pescatarian. Again, I have a video on that and why I decided to become that, and I'm still doing that, and I think that was another major change in my life. It was definitely a spontaneous change. I just woke up one day and I was like, look, I don't want to be cruel to animals, I don't want to eat animals, and it just kind of happened overnight, and it's been pretty good since then. I must admit there was a few times I've eaten meat, but that's because it was totally unavoidable. Like, I went to someone's house and she only had meat, and you know, she was an elderly lady and I didn't want to trouble her and say, oh look, can I have something else? So I ate meat. And then another time my mum bought a car, so to celebrate she bought KFC and I ate it. Another time went to a barbecue and I ate a sausage. So there's been a few times where I've still eaten meat. And continuing on, looking into this year for being a lacto-ovo pescatarian, because I'm going to China, the family is aware. I did write on my application that I'm that, but to be honest, continuing it into the new year, I think it will be pretty difficult, because again, I don't want to trouble the family to have to, their nanny to have to cook me something different just because, you know, different from the rest of the family. So I might just eat what they eat. Also, if I go to a Pacific town in China and there's something that's special there, and I want to try it, I will try it. So I'll see into that. 2018 I also binged and watched lots of Netflix shows. I watched Gilmore Girls and I watched Full House, like the whole season of Full House. In Melbourne I downloaded it off Netflix so I could watch it offline, and when we're travelling, like on the train to visit my cousin, to more rural parts of Victoria, I remember watching Full House. Got Gilmore Girls, and I remember just watching that on my phone a lot of the nights. I'll just sit on my bed watching Gilmore Girls. Full House was something I watched in January. Gilmore Girls might have been like December or early. Can't remember the order of them, but I remember watching Full House when I was at my first au pair family when I was on my break. I watched Full House, so that was kind of January. I also got addicted to West Witch on Netflix and a series of unfortunate events. My brother and I would watch that. At first I thought that looked like a weird show, but I watched it and got quite addicted to it. And then Fuller House quite recently when that came out on Netflix. Currently on Netflix I'm watching Highway to Heaven and also Pokemon. So that is pretty much 2018 in a wrap. I still didn't get my license in 2018 just because now I have to do 50 hours, and also because I was living out of home and lessons expensive as well, so it just didn't happen, and it probably won't happen for another few months because I'll be in China. Oh, another good thing was when I was living as an au pair, I was really close to uni, and also that council offered a program for drivers that for $15 you can get a 90-minute driving session with a volunteer. They're not driving assessors or driving teachers or professionals, but they're volunteers. But unfortunately, while I was actually living there, I didn't actually get a chance for that. But the program director was gracious enough to let me still do it, even though I came back home. And which means I did have to travel quite far to have those sessions, but they were really beneficial. Even if I come back in April, I will still probably won't get my license till after I turn 25, which means I don't have to do hours anymore. So yeah, 2018 in a wrap up, I would say was an interesting year. A lot of changes happened to me. You know, went from full-time work, part-time work, full-time study to full-time work, part-time study, and then till kind of what I'm doing currently is a lot of hours because you spend a lot of hours folding up the pamphlets. Then delivering, if I go out and deliver myself, it's about 2 hours. If I get help, it can be an hour. So, or just over an hour. And also, this year, last year was also where I actually got into my new course, because mid-2017 I changed over a course to a different uni course because just various reasons, but I'll do another video on that. But yeah, so 2018 was a big year, definitely. And then having surgery, moving out of home, moving back home, moving out of home, applying for an au pair program. In August sometime I was looking on my phone and I saw something coming up on the Australian au pair page to become an au pair in China, and I was like, that's probably something I want to do. So I applied for that as well, and that'll be starting in a few weeks, but I'll go into detail in another video. So that was kind of like, that whole process started in August and it's kind of still going on and will still be going on this year. So yeah, 2018 definitely a big year for me. 2019 will probably be bigger because I've finished my uni degree course. Well, at least I think I've done, if they've given me the correct advice. But I took leave from it, so currently my enrollment is showing up as intermittent, but hopefully that will be all sorted out. I'm hoping to hear from them by the end of the week, otherwise I'll email them because I'm leaving like soon. 2019 will definitely be an interesting year. First of all, I'm moving overseas for a couple of months, and it's definitely be a year full of anxiety leading up to this big change for me. So many times I've thought, am I doing the correct thing? What happens if something goes wrong and I have to like come back, or if I have to pay a lot of money, can I afford this? Is this the correct thing? What happens if something goes wrong? And just so much anxiety. But now that's actually happening, I think I've just got to trust in the Lord. That's one of my goals for this year. 2019 is definitely to read the whole Bible. Now in 2018, one of my goals was to do daily devotion. There was a few days I forgot just because I was so tired. But 2019, my goals are definitely to read through the whole Bible. I've started from Genesis, going to Revelation. Now I haven't started that yet, but it's definitely one of my goals is to read through the whole Bible. Now this is the app I'm using to keep track of my New Year's resolutions on this app here. So yesterday I saw something on Jess Conti's Insta story and it really encouraged me, and it was like, Jesus' time is perfect, and it says something about trusting him, his timing, and not worrying about stuff. And I think that's been the greatest struggle for me just over the years, and particularly with uni and getting my driver's license. Just like I just been like, Lord, when will I graduate? Those times at uni where I just really just wanted to give up. But 2018 was that year where I thought maybe uni wasn't for me, but once I changed into a different course in 2018, last year, I went from full-time to part-time, so it took some of that stress off me. Yeah, it was really good and it really helped. So I think one of my greatest messages to you guys is never give up and just keep on going. If it's something you really want, like to me, I didn't care if I had a uni degree or not. My parents both didn't go to uni, but I thought once I was in uni, I might as well strive and might as well continue. And as I said, it wasn't an easy journey, but I strived and I went through it, and it should be all good, and I should be graduating. I should have graduated already and be getting my confirmation letter soon. And with my driver's license, it's the same thing, I haven't got that yet, but I just got to trust in God's timing, because that is perfect. And in the new year, guys, if I can give you one piece of motivation, is the new year is just to seek help and really reach out to people. That's something I don't do. I like to keep to myself if I'm struggling, and I think that's very important if you are struggling, to reach out to other people and always ask for help, and don't be ashamed to. So guys, I hope 2019 is a good year for you guys, and if it isn't, don't give up, don't take it too hard on yourself. There will be ups and downs in life, but always look at the ups. And really, this is the message I got from Jess Conti Insta story. It said, when you're going through the darkest times, that is when something is about really, really good. So it's going to happen. And to me, I think that is so true. Like when I was going through a really dark time in uni and I just wanted to give up, I just kept on looking towards that end, like maybe if I change. And I didn't give up. I looked into it, I changed my course, and now I have completed that course. So definitely when there's dark times in your life this year, reach out to someone. If you're a Christian, pray about it, and it'll really help. And hopefully 2019 is a beautiful year for you guys. So thanks for watching. Bye.